Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to talk about a topic that is near and dear to my heart. Ever since I've been on YouTube, I've always talked about how great emulation is. But there's obviously a side of emulation that causes a little bit of controversy, especially with things like Nintendo Switch emulation, where people take games that literally just come out, and then all of a sudden they are doing better on PC than they would on their designed platform of the Nintendo Switch. And that is happening yet again with a major title that is coming out in just a little bit, and that is, of course, Super Mario Wonder. We'll talk all about that and the status of that, and again, reiterate my thoughts and feelings on that, and maybe I'll be a little bit pushing on an idea that I've had for years. Super Mario Wonder, as noted on DSO Gaming, is already playable on PC in 4K and 60 frames per second via Nintendo Switch emulators. The next Mario title will be officially released on October 20th, so hey, if you don't have a PlayStation 5 to play Spider-Man 2, you got another game you can check out. And now Super Mario Wonder has been leaked, and of course, both Yuzu and Ryujinx are able to run the new title, and it is running on a variety of configurations in 4K and 60 frames per second. Now, Nintendo is taking down the majority of these videos that are going up, from what I can tell, since, Nintendo gonna Nintendo, but some of them are still up, and yeah, you can see the game running very, very well. Obviously, this is a topic of concern for a lot of people, because one thing about emulation that is so great is game preservation, and for a long time, we didn't have HD remasters being milked to the ground, and even with HD remasters, like, you're talking about games getting remastered, upgraded, etc., for $50, $60, $70 at times. Look at The Last of Us Part 1, that game was released at $70. Well, emulation allows you to preserve these games, and I remember when I first got into PC gaming, the idea of having PCSX2 and up-resing Final Fantasy X was one of the craziest things that I ever did, and I was just like, yeah, it's over. Emulation is a godsend. Obviously, the necessity of emulation to some people has lessened over the years because there are so many games being ported and being remastered, but guess what? You're not going to play an SOTC on Steam, but you can play Shadow of the Colossus via PC SX2, and there's a lot of other games from the Super Nintendo era, PS1 era, N64 era, games that, let's be frank, like, my knowledge of gaming is pretty vast, but those eras I'm not as knowledgeable of as a lot of you guys, and if you're a little bit older than me, or even if you just want to go back into the vault and play some of these classic titles that aren't being preserved, this is a great way to do so with emulation. But then there is the other side of things, where you look at something like a Ryujinx, something like a Yuzu, where it is allowing people to play games like a Zelda Breath of the Wild, like a Super Mario Wonder, games that are in fact not even out, and games that are doing better on these platforms versus their Nintendo Switch counterparts, the platform they were actually designed to be played on. And you know what? Part of me is like, screw it, the Switch is such garbage hardware that I'm like, bruh, let us just play these games, higher resolution, higher visuals. Most people are gonna buy the games anyway and probably enjoy them, but you look at something like a Pokemon Brilliant, or, excuse me, the newest Pokemon, I think Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and some of those titles, like, especially, the Pokemon games in particular, they just run so poorly, and you have to understand, the Nintendo Switch isn't even as powerful as a PS4. It's dated hardware, but some of those Pokemon games, I mean, you would expect them to run a little bit better than they do, and then you bring it on over to PC, you do some shenanigans with your emulator, and all of a sudden, the game is being played how I think a lot of us would like to play them. Maybe with the Switch 2, they'll upgrade all of those games, hopefully for free, Nintendo, hopefully for free, and you'll be able to play them right on a Nintendo platform better, but for now, being able to play them on a Ryujinx and a Yuzu offers a lot of value, especially if you have a PC, and even if you have a Nintendo Switch. Like, I know a lot of people that have a Nintendo Switch, they buy the game because they want to support the development of these games, and then they go and emulate the game on their PC, or hell, even on their ROG Ally or their Steam Deck, and it's running as well, if not better, than their Switch counterparts. And usually on a nice PC, it's going to be running quite a lot better, and you look at the progression emulation has made over the last few years. Our PCS3 being as advanced as it is, I say it over and over again, I would have never expected a PlayStation 3 emulator to get to that state. Again, I am not well versed in the ins and outs of emulator design, but RPCS3 being as good as it is pretty remarkable. And again, PlayStation 3, one of those platforms, Sony doesn't want to do backwards compatibility. I'm sure they can figure it out, but thankfully for the RPCS3 team, they're doing something to preserve some of these games that, you know what? The PlayStation 3 has this catalog of games that are just not being preserved. I offer you Ratchet Future, Metal Gear Solid 4, so many games, 3D Dot Game Heroes. I can just go on, and these games are just lost in the ether. Wolfenstein 2009, I saw a social media circulation the other day, I think it was yesterday, where one of the developers from Wolfenstein 2009 was like, yo, it would be really nice if we could preserve this game, and it's like, yeah, we can't preserve these games unless emulation comes in, and that is the best way to do so. And now, there's a lot of controversy with things like Alan Wake 2 being digital only. Obviously, on PC, digital only has been the standard, but I digress. You get the idea, and I think emulation is just great, but there is that murky territory where Nintendo is releasing these new games, and they're being emulated, and they're kind of outclassing their Nintendo Switch counterparts, which I can understand the skepticism and the gray area that causes. And I'm sure Nintendo, if they had it their way, this wouldn't be happening. But, I will always offer to Nintendo, you know what? Just release your games on PC? Bro, why do they not go the Sony route? I just don't understand. And, maybe I can, I don't understand it from my vantage point. I'm sure Nintendo has their own line of thinking, and they probably think that even if we release our game on a 3 to 5 year delay, like, Breath of the Wild, if that came out on Steam tomorrow at $60, it is launching to the top seller. Nintendo is raking in, I think, over $100 million of revenue in day one of releasing that game. A 5-year-old, 6-year-old game, I think they are legitimately making that much revenue off a game that old by doing a PC release. Why won't they do it? I don't know. I mean, releasing a game like Breath of the Wild on PC natively and then it just completely outclassing the Steam counterpart, or excuse me, the Switch counterpart, that does kind of, expose you a little bit, but guess what? Like, people are still gonna buy the Switch. It's not gonna do anything to the Switch sales. Do I think that's ever gonna happen? Probably not. Probably not in my lifetime, but, you know what? I never thought games like Horizon and Days Gone and God of War would be on Steam and PC as well. So, yeah, I'd never count anything out. It's just, in this case, I don't have a lot of hope from Nintendo doing that. I mean, if Nintendo did that, PC would just be a crazy platform, more crazy than it already is to play all your games. If we had native releases of Nintendo titles, oh, that's a wrap, baby. Like, that'd be the most insane thing ever. But for now, Super Mario Wonder is not even out on Switch. It's not even out on Switch, and it's already performing way better than the Switch version will on October the 20th. But, my emulation opinions are always going to remain the same. I just wish these games could be preserved. I wish all games would be on all platforms right out the gate so you can play it wherever the hell you want. And maybe one day we'll get there, but I don't think that day is going to be anytime soon, although Microsoft does seem to be pushing for that. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.